Namaste to all the students and teachers of Kendriya Vidyalaya Kollam. June 21st worldwide, we are celebrating International Day of Yoga. Yoga is a way of education to the society. It is an art of successful living. It is a way of healthy living at all levels. It is a tool for positive change. As a part of 1 week of International Yoga Day, today we are presenting video based on history and importance of yoga. Yoga is the science of right living and as such is intended to be incorporated in daily life. It works on all aspects of the person, the physical, vital, mental, emotional, psychic and spiritual. The word yoga means unity or oneness and is derived from the Sanskrit word yuj, which means to join. According to mythical tradition, Shiva is said to be the founder of yoga and Parvati his first disciple. Lord Shiva is considered to be the symbol or embodiment of supreme consciousness. Parvati represents supreme knowledge. Yoga arose at the beginning of human civilization when humankind first realized their spiritual potential and began to evolve techniques to develop it. The yogic science was slowly developed by ancient sages all over the world. The essence of yoga has often been shrouded in or explained by different symbols, analogies, and languages. Some traditions believe that yoga was a divine gift revealed to the ancient sages so that humankind could have the opportunity to realize its divine nature. The foundings and symbols found from the Harappan and Indus Valley civilization is a very good example for that. Sage Patanjali's treatise on Raja Yoga, the Yoga Sutras, codified the first definitive, unified and comprehensive system of yoga, often called the Eightfold Path. It is comprised of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Yoga is truly a global science. It is a metaphysical doctrine. It is a supreme divine science. It is a science of being. It is a science.
How old are you?
I am 1, 2, 3. সৎ হতে হবে, সৎ চিন্তা, সৎকর্ম, সদ্ভাবনা, এই তিনটা করলেই ঈশ্বর লাভ হবে, যখন জীবন সুন্দর হবে। জন্ম মৃত্যুর বন্ধন থেকে আমাকে মুক্তি লাভ করতেই হবে। আমি তো অর্থ উপার্জন করতে আসিনি, অর্থ উপার্জন করে লাভ নাই, বিদ্যা উপার্জন করলে লাভ হবে।
பெண்களுக்கு என்னென்னமோ வருதுங்க, அந்த வேலையெல்லாம் இல்லை. எனக்கு 4 பேருக்கு இப்படி யோகா மட்டும் செஞ்சேன். வெறுப்பு போய் வேலை இல்லாமல் சுகத்துக்கு சொன்னால் எனக்கு 5 மக்கள் 6 மக்கள் இருக்கிறாங்க. 6 மக்கள் ஒன்று கவுத்துக்கு 5 மக்கள் இருக்கிறாங்க. சுகப்படுசுங்க. நம்ம இன்னும் ஆஸ்பத்திரி இருக்குது.
Yoga helps children to manage their anxiety, their emotional regulation, boosts self-esteem, increases children's body awareness and mindfulness, and improves their concentration and memory. It also develops children's strength and flexibility. The concept of the International Day of Yoga was first proposed by Prime Minister Modi during his speech at the UN General Assembly on September 27, 2014. The United Nations General Assembly on December 11, 2014 announced that June 21st will be the seen as International Yoga Day or World Yoga Day.
Students, next I am introducing Dr. Vrinda Madhavan, Faculty of Yoga Studies in Central University of Kerala. She will give Yoga Day message for all the students and faculties of Kendriya Vidyalaya Kollam.
Namaste to all the students of Kendriya Vidyalaya Kollam. Dear students, I am Dr. Vrinda Madhavan, Faculty of Yoga Studies at Central University of Kerala. So today we have gathered to know more about yoga on account of International Day of Yoga. 21st of June 2022 we are celebrating 8th International Day of Yoga. Every year 21st of June is being celebrated as International Day of Yoga. So this time the theme is Yoga for Humanity. So we have been facing lot of disturbances because of COVID for the past 2 years, and we have shown our best of humanity in those times. So that's why the theme goes Yoga for Humanity. Now let's try to understand few things about yoga. Yoga word originates from the root word yuj. Yuj means union, to yoke. So it is the union of our physical body, the mind, the soul, all of these. So when everything is in union, only then we can call it as yoga. Any work, any karma you do, if it has a union of your body, mind and soul, if you put your soul and mind to the work, only then it can be called as yoga. Now, let's understand what exactly the definition says about yoga. So, a few of the important definitions. Let's see through. Yoga is chitta vritti nirodha. That's what Sage Patanjali says about yoga. Sage Patanjali's book, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, second sutra or second shloka says this. Yoga is chitta vritti nirodha. That is, it keeps the modifications of mind away. So it doesn't allow the modifications of the mind. Yet another definition to yoga according to Bhagavad Gita is yoga karmasu kaushila. That means any skillful action you do, that can be considered as yoga. So anything which you do skillfully, any work which you do skillfully, maybe singing, dancing, studying, writing, anything it can be. But if you can do it very skillfully, the way it has to be done, then it can be called as yoga. Yet another definition from Yoga Vasishtha goes like this: Mana prashamanopaya itya yoga ityavidiyate. That means that which keeps the calmness in the mind. Alright. So anything that which disturbs also comes to us. That's very disturbing also comes to us. If you are able to keep our mind calm, poised, then we are at yoga. So there are many definitions to yoga. So some of the important ones are these. Now let's see how yoga, the history and the development of yoga took place. So if you really look back to the history, almost it is as old as 5,000, nearly 5,000 years old. So it is far behind than the origin of the religion itself. So we can call it as a treasure of India. We should all be so proud to have yoga being originated in India. There are many, to study it in an easier way, there are many ways it can be classified, like pre-classical yoga, classical yoga, post-classical yoga. That way we can always divide this. The modern yoga, whatever we can find now, is all developed and refined according to the needs of people. So many of the present yogis, present teachers of yoga, like Sri Ravi Shankar ji, then we have Sadhguru ji. So there are many of the new teachers who have come up to frame yoga according to the needs of people. So in the classical yoga, the yoga which was derived from the Vedas and Upanishads, those are oldest textbooks, like Bhagavad Gita. All these textbooks had many things told about yoga in it. The time when it was scripturalized, starts from Sage Patanjali. Sage Patanjali is a person, is a Maharshi, who have written down yoga into books. So Patanjali Yoga Sutra, as I told earlier, it has 196 sutras in it, and it consists of those sutras or those shlokas which can help us to take or progress us to that final destination of yoga. So yoga says that final destination is self-realization, moksha. Alright, so realizing the self, realizing who you are, who I am. So why am I here for? So all these things are understood there. In a simpler way, to reach the highest destinations of yoga, yoga is explained as Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs of yoga. Okay, so these 8 limbs are Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. So these are the progressive 8 limbs. One after the other we are supposed to practice. Okay? We are supposed to learn and practice all these 8 steps. So we will try to understand what are these 8 steps. Okay. So the first one is Yama. Yama is a universal conduct. Universally, socially, what you are supposed to do. These are told in Yama. Like Satya, Ahimsa. These are the social contexts which we are supposed to behave or deal with. Not hurting others, keeping up the truthfulness. So all these are explained in Yama. Niyama are personal conducts. That is what we have to do to ourselves. That is how we have to behave, how we have to take ourselves through. All these are explained in Niyama. Shaucha, Santosha. So such things are told in Niyama. Cleanliness, how we should be always, how we should be keeping ourselves clean always. Santosha is contentment. Santosha is just not happiness. Happiness is a very small word, but contentment is lots more than that. So how we should be contented with whatever we have. Because hopes, wishes, our requirements are never at end. We always need more and more and more. That will not take us to yoga. We should be contented with whatever we have. We should be happy with whatever we have. So that is Santosha. So these are the niyamas, that is personal conducts. The third one is asanas, which we all have heard of, is it not, children? We all have heard of asanas. Asanas are physical postures. Those postures which are done with our body. So with a certain physical posture, we will be able to attain certain physical attributes. So certain postures like Tadasana, Vrikshasana, Paschimottanasana, there are many asanas, thousands and thousands of asanas, and these asanas can help us to gain the health. It can also keep the diseases away. That's why we use yoga as therapy now. The yoga therapy is specialized branch of yoga itself. Using the techniques of yoga, we are able to treat certain diseases or disorders. That is yoga therapy. So these asanas, pranayamas are the tools to treat certain disorders. So asanas are taught by the acharyas or the teachers, and you are supposed to do the asanas in a right way with a proper breathing. It should be learnt in the right way with proper breathing. Then fourth one is pranayama. So prana ayama, the stretching of prana, the life force, that is the breath. Breath is understood here as life force, that is prana. So by regulating our breath, we are doing pranayama. So there are three components to this pranayama. One is puraka, second one is kumbhaka, and third one is rechaka. Puraka means we are filling our system with the breath. Breathing in is called puraka. Kumbhaka is holding of our breath. Whatever we have taken in the breath, if you are able to hold it, that is called kumbhaka. Rechaka is breathing out or leaving out the breath. So these are the three parts to pranayama. So in Hatha Yoga textbooks like Hatha Yoga Pradipika and Veranda Samhita and all that, there are many types of pranayama explained. They are also called as Ashtakumbhaka in those textbooks. So there are many types of pranayama like Surya Bhedana pranayama, Bastrika, Shitali, Shitakari, Bhramari, Plavini, Murcha. So there are many types of pranayama being explained in the Hatha Yoga textbooks. So all of this pranayama has its own goodness or its own benefits. So like Surya Bhedana pranayama treats Vata dosha. So it treats pains. It is having a property of keeping away the worms or the infections in our body. In same way, we have all the important factors for each and every pranayama, what it is good for. The fifth limb, anga of yoga is pratyahara. Pratyahara, pratyahara. That is to withdraw the sense organs from its sense objects. So what you see, you should not be completely relying on it. What you hear, you should not be completely dependent on it. If you are able to keep away the sense organs from its sense objects, not completely relying on those things, not completely in the clutches of those things, the sight, the hearing and all that. You have to keep away from these clutches of all these sensual objects. That is called as pratyahara. Then these first 5 limbs of yoga is called as Bhakya yoga. Then we have the rest 3 is the Abhyantara, the internal yoga, what we have to do within us, that is Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Dharana is concentration. We are trying to concentrate on a particular object, that is understood as dharana. That object should be a pleasant one. So our mind will keep fluctuating, oscillating between many thoughts. The property of the mind is thoughts. Mind is thoughts. So it keeps fluctuating from one thing to the other. It keeps oscillating from one thing to the other. If we are able to just draw our mind and fix it to one particular object, concentrating on that one object, then that process is called as dharana. So that is what the students like you require. Lot of dharana power should be there for the students. Because nowadays there are a lot of distractions through mobiles, through the television, all these media. Of course it is having all good effects, but along with the good effects, there is lot of bad effects too. It takes lot of the time of the students. Very fruitful time, very precious time of the students are being snatched away by these gadgets. So we need to learn dharana. We need to learn to concentrate on the good things, on the studies and all that. Is that not? When we have a continuous concentration on one particular object, then it leads to dhyana. Dhyana means meditation. So, continuously concentrating on a particular pleasant object for a longer time is called dhyana. And dhyana will lead to samadhi. Samadhi is buddhi. So, that is an ecstasy stage. So, that complete happiness is there in samadhi. It is an ecstasy. So, these are the 8 limbs of yoga. So, as I have said, these 8 limbs can be used as a tool to treat diseases and to keep a man happy and healthy. Then there are many schools of yoga to understand. There are Jnana Yoga, the yoga through knowledge. Karma Yoga, yoga through action. We have Raja Yoga is there through meditation and willpower. Kundalini Yoga is there, the yoga which is done by activating chakras. Bhakti Yoga is there, yoga with emotions. Bhakti, surrendering to the higher self. So all these are understood as schools of yoga. So these are few things, very important things, important points to know about yoga. So as I have said, we are celebrating the 8th International Day of Yoga on 21st of June. This particular celebration will allow more importance, it will give more importance to yoga, as yoga is the best remedy to keep ourselves healthy and happy. We need to give more importance to yoga. So I hope all my dear students have understood what I have spoke here, and I hope everyone will take up yoga as your daily routine and practice it wholeheartedly. Thank you for your patient hearing. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Vrida Madhavan, for giving us your valuable Yoga Day message. It enlightened us all. Thanks for watching the video. Namaste.